Welcome to Narrowboat Noggin the Nog. I don't know if you can tell, but throat is really sore today. Uh, the COVID test, it's not that. It's just sometimes this happens and your throat starts to go. Because of this, I'm going to do a lot of talking on this vlog to camera. Hopefully get my voice back for voiceovers later. We shall see. Now, this week's been a bad week if you like your gas and electric, and we all use it because costs going up. Bought a new toy, but I'm going to show you that records how much power all of my appliances are actually using. Really bought it for home to see if we could cut down on the bills because they're getting a bit ridiculous. But I bought it on the boat as well to have a look at what electrical items we've got on board and probably what electrical items we shouldn't have on board because they use just too much power. I'm going to do a sort of power audit, see how much we're using and see where we can cut back. It's quite an eye-opener and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching. This is a new lamp we bought on board. We weren't sure whether or not it was going to use too much power, so I bought this little bit of kit over in the corner there which measures the amount of electricity an item is using. Now the numbers are in watts, and as you can see it's using 3.4 watts. By using this calculation we can see that if we left the light on for 6 hours it would use 1.7 amp hours. Now amp hours are a way of finding out how much power you've got in the battery. We've got 4 leisure batteries which have 110 amp hours in each one, which equates to 440. You're only supposed to go down to 50%, so we've basically got 220 amp hours in our batteries when we're away from the marina. So I'm now going to go around and find the amp usage of other things on the boat, starting with the laptop here. It's quite an old laptop, but it does a good job for me, and as you can see at the moment it's about 13 watts when I'm actually using it. Working this out, you can see that if I use the laptop for 6 hours, it would equate to 6.48 amp hours. This is our rechargeable vacuum. It's fully charged at the moment, but I've forgotten to unplug it. But we can see that the reading is still 0.5 watts. So it's always good to check that it doesn't need to be on all the time, because that would still use an amp hour every day if I forgot to turn it off. Now it needs charging now because I've used it for a bit, so we can have a look again and you can see that we're looking at 15.2 watts when it's actually charging. It takes about 4 hours to charge from empty, so this would be 5.06 amp hours for each charge. This is the router, which is plugged in basically all the time. It's 2 watts, so if that was on all day it would equate to 4.6 amp hours. We've also got a aerial that's plugged in which has a booster to it. That's on all the time. That'll be 1.2 amp hours. And then there's the television. The television is 24.8 watts. So if we watch say 6 hours in the evening, that will be 12.35 amp hours every day. Even on standby it's still using 0.1, which if we forgot to unplug it would use 1/10 of an amp hour each day. Aha! Breakfast time. I was going to have some crumpets, and we do have a toaster on board. Hopefully you've got this far. Poor old Doris couldn't stay awake any longer. I was just boring as stupid. I realise at this point I'm supposed to say other crumpets are available, but really Warburtons are the king. Look at the number for the toaster though. 957 watts. But you've got to love crumpets, haven't you? Who wouldn't want them for breakfast? Using the calculation again, we can see that by using the toaster, at about 15 minutes each time we use it, would be 8.08 amp hours a day. Obviously, it's not like the TV which you're watching for 6 hours, although it is quite thrilling watching the toaster. Will it pop? Yes, of course it will. Well, Jerry's fallen asleep now. Hopefully you're still awake, because there's one thing else we need to think about, and that is the fridge. The fridge is 12 volts, and it's on roughly 18 hours a day with the cycle, so that equates to 50.94 amp hours every day. So it's our biggest user of amp hours. So adding everything together and including some approximations for the lights and the water pumps and also the inverter, we're using around about 165.71 amp hours a day, which is under the 220 that would be 50% of the batteries. Does mean that when we're out on the cut we will need to be aware of the power we're using, and also to make sure we run the engine to recharge those batteries. We've also got the solar, which will help as well. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and maybe check out this video here. It's a good one. See you next week. Bye.